So, as of recording this, it's the 3rd of April. We're pretty much on the eve of the Minecraft movie release. This will probably be up tomorrow on the 4th, which means the movie will be out, which means, maximum clickbait opportunity. So I just wanted to basically go over everything and give some sort of final thoughts and opinions on what we've seen so far, predictions for the film maybe. So first off, I know this has been said a million times, but the deliberate choice of a Minecraft movie rather than the Minecraft movie is not the definitive Minecraft movie, it's just this particular interpretation of what a Minecraft movie could be. I think it's cool. The stated reason as to why it's live action is because anyone can make an animated, well, not anyone, but it's a lot easier to make an animated Minecraft movie compared to a fully live action one. They have the opportunity to do it. They've got the budget, they've got the actors, etc., so they've taken the opportunity. And I still don't agree with the decision, but I respect it. I respect the reasoning behind it. But either way, I think, that's kind of linked somewhat. It's almost like they're recognising that the idea of doing it live action isn't going to be that well received. It's a bit out of left field, and that's why it's a Minecraft movie rather than the Minecraft movie, because the definitive Minecraft movie, let's be real, it's not live action. In terms of humour, I think it's going to be very sort of MCU, self-aware, well, that just happened. That's a bad thing, to be clear. I'm not a fan of that. I think everyone's sick to death of that. I think everyone kind of wants properties that are more sincere, properties that are more genuine, don't just take the piss out of themselves, and lean into any just silliness or unrealistic aspects of it, rather than feeling like you have to make fun of it. Like, you have to make fun of some of the crazier aspects of your property if you want to be taken seriously. Musically, I think what we've seen in the trailers so far is probably... Well, actually, I think they've released a lot of the soundtrack, which I've not listened to because I don't want loads of spoilers. I think what we've seen in the trailers so far is probably going to be indicative of the movie soundtrack. It'll just be basically pop music, but with, random drums and orchestral crescendos and all that. The obvious thing to compare the Minecraft movie to is the Mario movie, and the Mario movie had a bit of a problem with presumably illumination, meddling, and replacing a few scenes which were going to have original scores based on Mario themes, just replacing that with music that the audience would know, even if it doesn't make sense. There's nothing wrong with including that in films as long as it makes sense. It would be kind of irritating if the Minecraft movie went down a similar path, which, I'm not gonna lie, I kind of expect it to. Now, in terms of the, overarching story themes of the film or whatever, I watched Dan TDM's review, because obviously he was in the film, so he's done a spoiler-free review, and he mentions that the overall themes are, stuff like creativity and let your creativity shine, don't be peer pressured out of being creative or whatever, which, if done badly, will probably be really cheesy and cliche and not really have that much to say, but it can absolutely be done well, so I hope that they do. I'm not really being very constructive here, I'm just saying, this thing good, this thing bad. Maybe I'll do a follow-up review once I've seen the film, which is what I would actually change. Now, the elephant in the room is obviously casting. There is no reason that Jack Black should be Steve. That's completely moronic. Why did they do that? But I am going to play devil's advocate, because a lot of people were saying that, the director looks more like Steve, he should be Steve, or Jason Momoa looks more like Steve, he should be Steve. I want to point out that when they were making the film, they set up a private server for all the cast to play, and supposedly Jack Black sank way more hours into Minecraft than anyone else. And all of the stuff that he does in the trailers where he's just quoting random Minecraft stuff, this is Minecraft, chicken jockey, flint and steel, all of that. He was basically just doing that on set as well. He has become Steve, like Elon has become Meme. Jack Black has become Steve, he embodies Steve. So sure, maybe there's people that look more like Steve, but there isn't anybody that has become Steve, so to speak. So I'm defending it for now. If he's horrible in the film, if he's not, I don't know. The thing is, what is Steve, Steve doesn't really have a character. I guess that's an argument against him being Steve, because if Steve is no character, all we have to go off is a skin model that he decidedly does not look like at all. I might have just defeated my own point. Whoops. Well, we'll see. The sets are a difficult one because they clearly went to tons and tons of effort, and there was a lot of passion into creating the environments. The sets are physical. There's a lot of CG used, obviously, but the sets are physical. But I think this kind of highlights a disadvantage of using practical sets compared to just a CG environment. There's this weird belief that, like, using CG for your environments and sets is inherently worse than making them practical, which is just complete nonsense. Both are tools, you just need to use them well. If something's better to be CGI, use CGI. If something's better practical, use practical. When you're trying to make something like the Minecraft world believably live action, you kind of have to use a lot of CG in order to make it stay true to the game, if you see what I'm saying. Like, just look at some of the terrain and the trees and houses. Like, it's not vanilla Minecraft, obviously. There's blocks that don't exist. There's shapes that couldn't possibly be created. Because it had to be, like, more believable and not look completely ridiculous with the live action props and sets and stuff, which I think you could overcome using CG. That's just my opinion. Also, I still think the terrain looks AI generated. I really do. It still looks like AI generated Minecraft world. Generate 10 images of the overworld from Minecraft, but realistic. I've realised I'm being quite harsh, so I want to give some praise to the film, or at least what we've seen of it so far. I think they've done a really, really good job of adapting the game. Like, seriously, people have some of the most ridiculous nitpicks. Like, I want to highlight Phil's a Minecraft. I know he's the creator of Minecraft, so he's about the last person I should be beefing with here. One of the things he was annoyed by was the water bucket scene at the start of the final trailer, where it's, hold on, I'm going to catch enough for this water bucket, release! And obviously, you can't do that. Shocking, I know, you can't do that in vanilla. You can't say, press the release button and throw the water out and it lands in a big puddle. How the hell are you supposed to believably adapt, like, a realistic one-to-one water bucket clutch? That doesn't make sense. That's impossible. Think about an actual water bucket clutch. You're placing the water, like, a fraction of a second before you land in it. Like, literally less than a second between placing the water and landing in it. How the hell are they supposed to adapt that into live action? Like, again, one of the drawbacks of live action, it should be animated, 100%. So I think what they ended up doing was a really good compromise between what is believably believable, that doesn't make any sense, and looks alright, versus what is faithful to the game. That being said, there are things that they could have adapted better. In, I think, the second and final trailers, there's the scene with the elytras. No, I'm not going to say elytras. Where they just look like weird sheets of metal, like some sort of jetpack. I don't know if the people behind the movie knew this. An elytra is like a bug, I think. The wings are like supposed to be bug wings. Either way, they don't look like big sheets of metal. So I don't know what was up with that. Oh, one of the weird things that people were complaining about with the second trailer was the Steve's lava chicken, saying the trapdoor could just stop the lava. Have you considered the trapdoor was placed on the block below it? It wasn't on the lower half of the block the chicken was on. It was on the upper half of the block below the chicken. Have you considered that? Potentially? Maybe? Obviously? Alright, I'll stop being condescending and try and wrap this up. I have high hopes. I honestly do. I think each trailer has been better than the last. I think the hype is big, for sure. Granted, a lot of that is, making fun of the movie, but it's still publicity. It may be not so good publicity, but it is still publicity. A lot of people will be watching the Minecraft movie purely to make fun of it, and just watch Jack Black repeatedly say things from Minecraft like Ender Pearl and Flint and Steel. I think it has a strong possibility of being like a very light-hearted, fun, bad film like this. Obviously, it's not going to be an objectively good film, It's not going to be absolute cinema. It's not going to be taught in film school. It's not going to go down in the history books. But it is going to be comedy gold, and that's all I'll say. Farewell.